There were protests at a school in Fairfax last week over an alleged racist attack against a Muslim student that happened. Here's the CBS affiliate talking about it.
An estimated 350 students protested at Fairfax High after they say a student was attacked here Tuesday afternoon because she's Muslim.
She couldn't breathe. She was laid on the floor. She couldn't move out of her position.
Students accused the school system of trying to sweep the incident under the rug.
The school's trying to cover it up and said I had a panic attack, which that did not happen.
Ekran Mohammed says some students made racist drawings in a marketing class, became increasingly aggressive, and then one of them assaulted her.
My backpack bumped into him, and then he got mad, and he pushed me, and then he grabbed my hijab.
Mohammed says he pulled her hijab off, and when she fought back, he shoved her hard into a desk.
Everybody was outside waiting for the buses, and we saw the ambulance come into the school.
Physically, my whole left side of my body is bruised. Mentally, I'm okay because I have all the support around me today.
Mohammed says she and the student were given the same punishment, a one-day in-school suspension, which they served Wednesday in the same room where she says the student kept looking at her.
That's entirely unacceptable, and that's something I want to go back to see with staff how we can do better in the future.
County School Board member Abrar Omeish, the only elected official in Virginia who wears a hijab, says she's concerned by the response. The school system told us it is investigating and, quote, no further details can be shared at this stage as administrators work to establish the facts. Fairfax County Public Schools and City of Fairfax schools support the rights of students to peacefully protest.
So there they are protesting over this hate crime. And well, we heard it's a hate crime. There were racial slurs that were used, this anti-Muslim hate crime and all that. So now we get to the twist ending that I'm sure you saw coming from a million miles away. This is from WTOP. It says a City of Fairfax Police Department investigation has determined that a physical altercation at Fairfax High School on Tuesday was not a hate crime, according to a press release. The investigation revealed there were no racial comments made by either student, according to police. Police said that the female student confirmed her hijab became partially undone during the altercation, exposing her hair. The female student told police that the information posted on several social media sites stating that racial comments were used during the altercation were false. Not just on social media sites, but as you heard, the media itself has been reporting this. Nonetheless, hundreds of students from Fairfax High School in Virginia walked out in protest on Thursday, showing their support for a student they say was attacked in an Islamophobic incident. The student herself is saying that's not what happened. Well, she's saying that now. I think initially that's where they got this story. But very quickly, she backed away. She said there were no racial slurs used. Here's what it was. It was a fight that she got into, a mutual fight, as happens in high schools, with another student. The other student, by the way, not white. So these were two non-white students who got into a fight, and during the fight, her headdress was partially dislodged, and it showed a little bit of her hair. And then this story arises. Now, I don't know what motivated her to come up with this version of the story. It's not hard to come up with some theories. Maybe one of them is she didn't want to get in trouble for being in a fight, so she came up with the hate crime story instead. It seemed like a pretty logical assumption here. I don't know if that's true or not. Who knows? Who knows what motivates these people to invent these kinds of stories? But we know generally speaking what motivates it is that she's growing up in a world, and she looks around and she sees that, victimhood pays. Victimhood gives you some points. You can cash them in. You can cash in those tokens in a lot of different ways and benefit from it. Get yourself out of a tight spot. It's kind of like a get out of jail free card, or maybe a get out of suspension free card here. But if you're a rational person, even I saw this story a few days ago when they were first walking out over this alleged Islamophobic hate crime. And as soon as I saw it, my first reaction was, yeah, that probably didn't happen. Because yet again, it's good news. It should be good news that this sort of thing just isn't happening. It's simply not happening in the country. You're not going into a modern high school in modern America and there are white students tearing the hijabs off of Muslim girls and shouting Islamophobic slurs at them. That's not happening. We could celebrate that because that's a great thing that these sorts of events aren't happening. Unless victimhood is what you crave, in which case you see that as a bad thing. Listen, hit that subscribe button right now. Do it right now. I thank you for your compliance. It is somewhat appreciated.